So far in the triple aquarium series, we have done a pretty much hardscape only tank for all the plecos. We moved on to nature style aquarium for the rainbows, neon rainbows that is, looks absolutely fantastic, is flying along. And then we have this that you can't really see. So we wanted to do minimal, nature, and then jungle, just to sort of show the progression. It already is a jungle, but it's not like any sort of like shape. It's just crazy amount of plants. So we're going to do this again. I think I'm going to keep the same fish in there, the barbs, because I love them and they'll stand out well. But yeah, it's just going to need to take everything out so we can start again. What we have got though is these really nice monstera plants that are quite well established and doing well under the water. Well, the roots are under the water anyway. I still want to keep those in there because it adds to the jungle vibe, but the rest of it, everything else needs to be changed. Let's do it. Thank you. I will be needing this, but not just yet.
What are you doing first then?
First of all, I want to take out all of the monstera and we can place, oh my goodness.
What?
Oh, that's okay. Oh, actually, it's rooted. Yeah, it's rooted so well. The good thing about this tank is, because we've got barbs in there, there is no duckweed. That is quality, son. Look at that. I mean, that's a dodgy leaf.
Great
Other than that
roots.
one.
Yeah, looking healthy.
Looks wicked. And what's perfect about it is because it's grown in that shape, it means I can sit it in and it will sit upright nicely.
Look, new shoots.
Freshen. Yeah, it works. Truly works.
Where's that going then?
Over into Mabuna land, just because it's nice and open on the top. And yeah, I normally put it in there to stop duckweed, don't I? But there is no duckweed in this one, but it's just a good place to put it. So I've obviously got a tank set up, but I wanted to show you, how the tank comes when you buy it. And you've got decent packaging, it's all strapped in tightly. We've got lots of stuff that comes with the kit. With the kit as well. So satisfying. So the kit comes with this nifty little canister filter, which has got like a staged sort of foam set up in it. It's got all the pipe work that you need as well. Inlet, outlet, you can have a spray bar. I quite like these, just a little spout just shooting across at a diagonal. That's everything you actually need to get going. These completely do the job. It's all I've used on all 3 of my tanks so far. And they look great. And it's got a lovely picture of an angelfish on the front. Up next is the Scaper LED light. These, you guys know how much I love these. They're such good value for money. And they grow plants so well. They are one colour, so you can't change the colour, but it is a really, really good colour. I think it's 6,500 Kelvin. Let me check. Don't know who Kelvin is. Oh, I'm wrong. It used to be. It's now 7,300, which is actually better because it's not quite as sort of yellowy. It's got more of a whitey tone to it, which is like very, very neutral looking. You also get a fertiliser and a liquid carbon as well. And you get this, which is the easiest way of colouring your aquarium. You have got either a black background, I'm not going to put it on because it's got moisture from being in my car, condensation. So you get a white background if you want, or you get the black background, just tape it to the edges. It completely blacks out the back, like you can't see any gaps or anything like that, especially when the water's in and everything. It works so well. So it is 8mm glass, beveled edges, which is nice, just gives it a like sort of, I don't know if you can pick it up, but yeah, it's got beveled edges. It has got minimal silicone as well, so you don't get like a big, thick, gunky bit along the inside. It's just where the panes meet. And it's opti-white glass as well, so like clear glass, I think they call it. Like, it's like multiple ways of saying it, but yeah, it's like low iron glass, which means that like you don't get a green tint to it. It's more like a bluey at the edges, and then it's like nice and clear. Well, that went very fast, getting very good at this. Steph obviously helped being able to hand things and that, but cleaned out a whole tank, moved the fish, everything in less than an hour, and no mess. No mess. So as you saw, the kit comes with the standard light, which works absolutely fine, grows plants brilliantly. But in the last video, we upgraded to the RGB version of the light, which is, you know, an extra. But as you can see, look at how good the plants are growing. The tank looks definitely worth the upgrade. And it just so happens that I upgraded. I love this light. I'm trying to put all of them to that as well. So yeah, that I just think it's well worth the extra investment. It's so, so good. It's one of the best light color renditions I've found. The greens still look good, but you still get great reds. The fish also look fantastic as well. So yeah, I'm upgrading it. Got it.
Gently does it. It's like Christmas every day.
The top of the light has got this really nice heat sink, because obviously the LEDs produce a bit more heat. There is more of them as well. So yeah, it's got a nice heat sink, gives it a nice quality to it. All aluminium, no plastic. Obviously the brackets.
Yeah, the support arms, brackets.
Brackets are plastic, which is good. But in terms of colour rendition, I actually think this is better than the ADA. I honestly do. The ADA is very like green and sort of gives a synthetic or look. It doesn't, yeah, this is the best in my opinion.
It'd be interesting to see Dave's tank next door with the superfish light.
Yeah, and then with all the greens. I mean, Dave's tank definitely needs a trim up, doesn't it?
Don't know what you mean. It does look cool though.
Yeah, it's like a little labyrinth and the fish come in all the channels and stuff.
Yeah.
But it does need sorted.
Ready. Whoa.
I mean, you can't really tell the difference at the moment because there's nothing in the tank. Also, do we want the black background? That looks so good without one.
Yeah. Yep.
It's one of those though. Jungle tanks do tend to have a black background, but let's be different. I like it without it.
We can always add it on.
That's true, because it's not. It's only it's the black film that comes with the tank. So like literally, look, you can just.
It's not one that you've painted on.
No, I've not painted it. It's just taped on. It looks great though. Look, it's absolutely perfect as a black background. But yeah, let's just take it off. If we want to put it on later, we can. There we go. Background off. Don't worry, you won't be seeing these pipes because the hardscape is going to be covering those sections. Kind of want to do just something like up at the back, and then like more of a sort of sprouty that way as well. Nice clean foreground, but with completely different type of gravel. So the look is way different to the nature aquarium style. Remember, we're doing a jungle, so there's going to be a lot of plants, which I know a lot of you will be pleased with, because that's what I do.
Is that the main difference then with... Bless you. Whoa. Whoa. You quite finished.
I think I am.
Is that the main difference then between the nature and the jungle? Is there's a lot more planting, or is it like is that the main style difference, or like...
So I feel like nature is a lot more structured.
Yeah.
The hardscape's way more structured, and the planting styles are way more structured as well. Look, we've got bands of different sort of textures that eventually, you know what I mean? It's quite sort of structured.
And you did do that good diagram. Yeah, this little rogue.
But that's all right. That's just a little experiment. But the jungle, it can be a lot more like just explosive bits of hardscape, and then you can have like different plants that you wouldn't necessarily put in other areas with a nature aquarium. It's just more about like plant explosion.
Okay.
Which I'm very good at. So.
But it's not like random. Like you're still kind of
you
considering
want to
where
think
you're
about
placing
it,
stuff, and
it can be random. I've seen random ones that like just look fantastic as well. Basically, the jungle style is the easiest style to do because if you can grow plants, you can do that style, and if you can grow plants, you can make it look amazing. So it's like, I'd say it's the best like entry-level style to go for because you learn how to grow plants. You also learn how to maintain the plants as well, if you do that, which I will. Also, you don't have to be so like precise with the structure of the hardscape. You can just go for oversized pieces if you want, just a couple of them, some big pebbles, and then just ram it full of plants. It cannot not look good. I think it's like, it's much more forgiving, I would say.
Nice. I'm excited to see the difference.
So before we cleaned it out, obviously we took out all the substrate system that was in there. That is going to be perfect for building up some height at the back. And then I'll mix some substrate with it as well, like powdered, dirty style soil substrate on the topmost layer. And then that can be where we plant into with a little bit of capping as well. And yeah, we'll have full nutrients for our plants as well, but we'll also have all the height at the back, and we can put all the hardscape on that. So let's do that now. But nutrients are in, but they do not want to be in the water column. So we need to cap it all. I've got an assortment of different sands here. I know what I want as the decorative sand / gravel. Save that for a bit. But starting with just some pool filter sand, just to cap the top. Then I'll go into more of a coarser sand near the front, just so it sort of grades out.
So you've capped it with finer sand.
Yep.
And now you're using a coarser.
Yeah, so
Why have you done that?
So the first one is locking down the substrate, like the nutrients. It's a finer sand, so it's no way it can sort of seep through, I guess.
Yeah.
Obviously with fish moving, water flow and all that kind of thing. This is a lot more sort of decorative, a lot more detail to it. It's just a visual thing really, this one, because the next one that goes on is our final look. But I'll wait until our hardscape's in, so then I'll know where to put it, for instance.
Right, okay.
So this is more sort of to tie those two pieces in. So it's purely really decoration, this one.
Yeah. It's taking shape.
Yes, literally. That is the substrate system set. I'll just get a shot in the side, actually. Chuck it here. Yeah, so you can clearly see there, we've got the layers of nutrients underneath, capped with enough sand. And next up is now putting in the hardscape. We're going to take the time with this.
Fortunately, all the wood is now slightly less.
Do you know what's going to happen? It's going to be whatever's on the top.
Well,
We
yeah.
must resist that temptation.
It's all right.
Some good pieces over there.
Yeah, maybe better sizes. Do you want the ladder?
Yeah, this is annoying me here. Why have we put this here?
I think I put it there.
Hang on.
Oh.
This is awkward.
Whoa. I just realised I haven't got my Crocs on.
Possible piece. Not sure yet.
The
That's
left hand corner.
This one, almost it's quite straight up.
Oh, what just came out of it?
I don't know. Oh, a bit of old glue. Possible. Right, I'm just going to...
Always good to clear up before.
I'll clear that up in a second. Classic me. I'm just going to try a few bits initially, just to just get some flow going. So the good thing about what we've done is we've created a base to put this on so that it can actually rest and not fall over. Obviously it will now, but something like...
Because you can dig it in a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe like that. I kind of want a little sort of like tunnel underneath that will look quite cool. And I quite like in that, like that. So obviously we need rocks to prop it up. I'll tell you what, it's going to take a long time to do this. I wanted to get it right. I think if you time-lapse it, Steph, and we'll just show the process in time-lapse because, yeah, I don't want to rush it. Well, I think that looks pretty fantastic and completely different to what's next door. Now, what I'm going to do is add in the actual decorative foreground gravel that I want, to be on show. And then I'll add even more sort of pebbles in some of the areas like here where there's like big gaps. There will be plants as well, so I'll have to make sure the gravel isn't too big, but hopefully it should look like it's all rocks and gravel with loads of plants just spewing out of it. That's the idea anyway. And the decorative gravel of choice is the ADA Aqua Gravel. I've got a few ADA products I've been using recently. That's because when Dave came, he just brought a load with him. So yeah, it's a bit different colour tones, completely different to all the other tanks as well, which is exactly what we want. Neatly done.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, very different. Usually I don't worry about like brushing bits off and that, but this is quite coarse gravel and the water won't push it off, so you need a paintbrush. Don't know where are the paintbrushes?
You got it?
I've got like a tiny one, but I know where the paintbrush is.
Oh no, I've just remembered too.
Here's the paintbrush.
Ah, yeah. Well, the epoxy works.
That is not coming out. I think we should keep this.
It's a piece of modern art.
Yeah, it's like either modern art or just memorabilia. Now on sale on my website for just $9.99. And that's where it should live.
$9.99.
I found another one, so we're good. This is the last one though. I definitely need to buy some more.
We've got through quite a lot of brushes recently.
Yeah, well, mainly that project, the Paludarium. Like paint got hard, epoxies got hard, glue got hard from the foam.
Cement got hard.
Should get some more.
Everything got hard. What?
Right, pointless paintbrushing complete. We can move on with the skate. Ow! Right, none of this wood is stuck down though, so it's quite well held in place, but we definitely need to put some tack points, especially on these little pieces, and that'll lock it all together. Everything is now stuck down. Now, I am a massive fan of just filling up at this point and just doing all the planting with water in it. Unless I'm doing like fiddly foreground plants, I normally do those first, just because when you've got water in, they can just, unless you go into sand, then sand makes everything easy, just sucks it and locks it down. So yeah, with the style that I want to go for this tank, I just think fill it up now and then just get wet afterwards, you know? You can see where everything's sitting exactly how you want it. If anything's floating, you can glue it to things, weigh it down, get it locked in places. Yeah, let's just fill it up.
What did you mean by get wet afterwards?
You know, you in and out the tank, you know, there's water going everywhere. That's the only thing that's a little bit of a pain, but I still think, I don't mind. It's a fish studio, it's always wet, isn't it? Oh, that's the beautiful thing about having just gravel. It fills up super clean.
Wow, my ears. All the dogs, local dogs have come running.
I'm just gonna let it go up to that point and then I'll turn it on faster because I don't want to disturb any of this. There is a little bit of soil underneath. I can't wait to get it planted now. Jungle is massive. Booyaka, booyaka. Jungle is massive. Original. Have you remember Ali G in the house?
Yeah.
When they were doing that at the traffic lights, and then he was like, oh, God, it's gone red, it's gone green.
What car was it they were driving? Renault
5 GT Turbo.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wicked.
Yeah, cool.
Always overheated, 1.4 turbo engine, yeah.
What Ali G's
How the hell do I still remember that?
Ali G's always over.
No, like that particular car, so many people have to modify. This is not yet. So Stefan's turned the filter on and I've just realised there's basically no flow. Now that makes sense because I set the previous tank up about a year ago and I have never cleaned the filter. But as I've seen from the previous setups we've done, it stays pretty good. But there's like a fine filter floss right at the bottom layer, and obviously that will definitely be gunked up. So just need to take it apart, clean that, put it back in, we'll get tons of flow.
Thanks, Flo.
Place it in the bucket, preferably a clean one, but
No time for clean buckets.
no. Pipe out, and that will drain. There we go. And now we can take the whole thing over to the sink.
Every time.
And as usual, we've just had lunch.
Time.
Right, let's take a little look inside. Okay, this one is pretty much what we saw before. Remember, this is a year of total use. Pretty good. As we go down, oh, pretty good still. Sponge is pretty clean. It's the very bottom one.
The bottom sponge.
It's pretty good as well. And then it's this next one. I get it.
Bottom sponge.
There we go. That's the one that's stopping the flow. It should have definitely been cleaned out before now. Yeah. Not too bad, but it's enough that it's become like a block rather than a thingy.
Yeah.
Now, everyone says that you shouldn't wash things in tap water, so I'm going to get some tank water, put it in a bucket and clean it all in there. But that's boring, so yeah. We are go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, bit of crud. That's fine. That's probably what was left in the pipe. But that'll clear very fast. The tank next door is very like vibranty green, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With the Hydrocultura petita, the Java fern, and the Limnophila siciliflora. Very sort of like punchy greens. I say we go for more darker green tones in this one. Like for instance, Bulbitis. It's got like more of a sort of darker shade of green if we just stick to a lot of that. Don't really want any red plants either because we've already got like reds and pinks in the pebbles.
Yeah.
I think it'll look great. So a lot of darker tones there. Look, the Bulbitis looks so good. We've got different Anubias. We've got Anubias Petite and Anubias Nana, and we've got loads of different boosters as well of all those different tones. It already looks amazing. I know it's going to look so good. So I'm going to start with the biggest plant, which is this massive piece of Bulbitis. It just looks so good. Oh, there's some nice moss on it as well. I will attach that. I mean, it's going to look great in this section. I'm going to give it a go. That instantly looks fantastic.
Jungle, done.
It's a jungle. Nearly there with the Bulbitis. There's just a little spot right behind the rock at the back here. I think it's going to add a nice bit of depth. It's coming out from behind there. Just into that sort of shadowy section. How's that? Yes! That looks très fantastique. That's a combination of two languages there. But yeah, we've not actually planted anything yet in that substrate system we created. So I don't really want to go too mad with that, to be honest. The reason I create that substrate system is mainly just for the biological filtration. And I know it works well when I do it like that, even when it's just an epiphyte plant tank. But yeah, we're going to put some different plants in. I've got some nice Aricolon Vietnam that can sit in some of these little areas just to add a few more textures. I think I do want to bring some mosses into the foreground, but not too much. I really like the way those pebbles sit. People have been saying that this is MD style. I didn't even know I had a style, but apparently the rounded pebbles, I've invented it. I've invented round pebbles, apparently.
What an invention. You're a pioneer.
Yeah, just start adding a few more bits. I think it looks great like that, but I just feel like we should have something at least in the substrate. Right, I think that's all the planting we need to do. By tomorrow, this should be completely clear. We can add fish in. Remember, the filter's been running a long time, so it's all established. And that is awesome.
It's been a few days. The tank is looking miles better. Slightest of hints of a tint still, but to be expected with a lot of wood like that. It's quite nice. I will do another water change anyway. But currently, the tank looks very neat. Like, it doesn't look jungly. So it's kind of like another version of what's next door. Now, we have just recently trimmed back all the plants because it was looking even more jungly in here. But I just feel like we need more grassiness look to the jungle aquarium. The jungle is supposed to look like a jungle. At the moment, it looks great. It's not very jungly. Jungle. Let's jungle it.
Jungle is massive.
Jungle is massive.
Holy moss, Batman.
That's a lot of
It's a good amount of moss. Will I use all of it? I don't know yet, but let's get some in. The rest I can plonk around the studio and it will just grow out in its own way and can be used for future projects. So, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it can't stay in the pots forever, can it?
No,
So-
exactly. We need Trey. Trey, where are you?
Trey.
Here he is. It's your good boy. It's your good boy.
Oh, that was weird.
I don't know why I'm doing that. It's because it's Friday. Right, selections. The reason Christmas moss is my favourite, because there, look, that's Christmas moss. As soon as it comes out the pot, it's got a flat bottom bit to it. You stick it on anything, it already looks like it's been there for a long time. Whereas all the other mosses, they can take some time to sort of grow in and get a bit more natural. But now that's glued at the base, like a troll's head. Look at my fingers. For like the second day in a row, I'm covered in super glue. You just can't do it in gloves, can you? Just can't.
Stick to everything.
I can make this look a little
Although
bit
the
better
Christmas moss looks good,
Yeah.
like these don't look. They look good as well.
Yeah, they do look good. Everything looks good. It's just, that's my favourite. That's all Christmas
the
moss.
Christmas moss is cool.
But I can stick this now in little gaps in the wood, so you'll just see the nice, beautiful bit at the top anyway. This method of gluing them on like trolls' heads is probably the best way of doing it, because when they're out of water, they're all stood up straight. As soon as you put them in, you can sort of flatten them in a non-straight way, and it kind of gives the impression then that it's sort of grown in like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's been there for a while.
Right, for me, that now looks fantastic. Proper jungly, and completely changes the look from what's going on next door. There's one thing missing from it. How do you make a junglescape more jungly? Jungle Val. Grassiness, it just works. Right, Jungle Val going in. I don't know which way it's going to try and flow. Hopefully, the way I'm expecting it to. How's that looking?
Yeah.
It looks jungly. So it's been a few days now, and since the jungle val has been in and everything has been in place, the water has gone super clear. It looks fantastic. And I actually love the overall scape. But there's one thing bothering me. It doesn't look as jungly as I like. It looks quite neat. It looks fantastic, but I just want more of a jungle vibe. And to get that, you need more of a grassy look, I find. I know this as a standalone looks fantastic, but the whole point is that it's supposed to be massively contrasting to the tank next to it, which at the moment, they're kind of on a similar sort of neatness level, you know? I want it just raw. And at the moment, it's not giving me that raw jungly vibe. It looks, I don't know, like planted.
Certainly that.
It is. So I've got a plan to jungle it up a bit. So this tank is where my paludarium fish, well, they're in the paludarium now, but they were in here. This is screaming jungle vibe to me. And the reason it's doing that is because you've got the grassiness coming from the dwarf sage. And I like the way it does this creeping sort of action. So the plan is just to take out sections of it, plant some in random areas, but also maybe try and get this sort of look at the foreground, not quite as intense, but make it look like it's been there for a long time. It's a bit of a challenge, but planning on putting some little strips of plant weights, attaching the roots to it, and then burying those in gravel, and we hopefully be able to get that effect. If not, it doesn't matter, let's just try it. There we go. That is exactly what I was talking about. They look completely Don't do that if I'm stood near you, Steph. That's an actual razor blade. That would kill me. Where you go? Yeah, so as I was saying, look at the completely contrasting styles now. Really a lot more obvious. This is a lot more tidy, little sort of prettiness to it. Then you've got boom, raw plantage explosion. Great little labyrinth in there of everything. Much more like I was going for. And it's clear and it's ready for fish. And speaking of fish, these are the ones that are going in. My swordtails. There's loads and loads in there, like different sizes, different generations. I mean, the original adults I think have gone now because it was years and years ago, probably 3 years ago that I bought these. And they've just constantly been breeding. And we've got these ones in here. And I've got even more of their babies in this tank as well. Whenever I found some that were like tiny, tiny, I always just put them in here just to ensure the chance of survival. They're a good size now though. I think I'll put some of the larger ones in as well, so just to keep all the breeding going. And you might also notice that there's a little bit different here on the 3 tanks. So originally, I set up this tank here, and it was clear like it is now, and that's how we kind of wanted it. But the wood was brand new, and it leached so many tannins. It was proper brown. And although, you know, some people like it, it's not the overall impression I was trying to give. I was trying to give the impression of hardscape pretty much only, just a few bits of mosses and stuff. Then we move on to the nature style that's got a lot more structure to it, planting in specific areas and, you know, neatness all in the foreground. And then we come over to the jungle, which is just a plant explosion. And I definitely think now with the dwarf sage, we've maximized that and made it actually look like a jungle. So yeah, that's kind of the thinking there. And it all sort of works into the plan that we had all along. So now we need to add the fish. We can add the fish. I'm looking forward to this. There's a few little bits of algae on some of the wood. And some of the plants I've used in previous setups to come over have got some algae strands as well, but they're definitely dying off. They're going white. I'm also going to add a few autocinclus as well because they'll get all over that and clean it. Maybe some small bristlenose. But first of all, I want to get the swordtails in. Right, I need a big jug and... no, big net. Big net catches fish quickly, safely. Stuff all in it. Get some tank water. Hook it on the side. Okay, they've all come to the surface, which is absolutely fantastic. I've got a good group there. In you go. Nice. Try and get some more. Yes, smooth. It's always good when it's like that, less stress. Nice and gentle, nice and quick. And we're good. A fair few more in here though. Oh, some Amanos, we'll put those in for sure. I've got some Ottos in the top tank as well. Right, so I've got the cleanup crew, well, the first part of the cleanup crew. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Amano shrimp. We've got a little collection of ram's horn snails as well. So put those in. Swim away. Some of the snails have already stuck. And that Mano. There we go, they'll be brilliant in this tank. It's just the right amount, I'd say. There's not too much algae. There's a little bit already because some of the plants that I've put in there had some on from previous setups. So you can see up here, some of the Bulbitis, it's dying off. I think we mentioned it earlier, but yeah. In a minute, we're gonna put an Autocinclus and a Siamese algae eater. That'll all be gone within a couple of days. And then the Siamese algae eater and 3 Autocinclus. Always keep Ottos in the group of 3 minimum. Like, they'll always huddle together. Look straight on there, cleaning. In a minute, when they get more comfortable, they will just be in a group of 3. Every time I've done this, always just hang around together. But you can see there's those little bits of algae that's on that leaf. They'll clean all of that. They'll be gone. Like, so that's what I consider like background levels of algae. Very easy to get rid of with just a small group, small cleanup crew. I know people say that you shouldn't use the animals to rely on your cleanup crew, but if it's background levels like we've got in this tank, it's absolutely perfect and we'll just keep it at bay. Right, we've got the swordtails ready to go in. This will look awesome, especially under this lighting as well from Superfish. I've scooped up quite a bit of poo, but whoa, they are vibrant. It's the LEDs really making a massive difference. They look red.
So this has been another really successful project. The whole thing actually turned out a lot better than I was expecting. It's definitely the best jungle tank that I've ever produced anyway. I really like the way it fits into all 3 aquariums, and come the end of the video, we'd actually decided to remove the tannins from the first tank, the hardscape only one, and I think it looks so much better. It looks quite empty obviously because the plecos always hide, but we're going to be getting some diver fish soon. My favourite thing about the tank is that there's something everywhere. It's quite the labyrinth, and the fish like to swim in and out of all the cracks and crevices. There's always something to really be looking at, what with the Autocinclus and the Amano shrimp as well. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Hoping to get to 1 million subscribers soon, so hopefully if you haven't already, you can subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project.